So my name is Vanessa Lauzi, and I would like to review an article, a JPT article, JPT standing for the Journal of Petroleum Technology. And I will be reviewing a particular section called the environmental friendly chemical that improve oil production. So in my next slide, in the oil and gas industries, there are a lot of chemicals that are used in order to enhance oil. So in hydraulic fracturing, the industry uses acid and oxidizers as polymer breakers. In hydrogen sulfide mitigation, the industry uses trioxane and glycol. Now, as much as they actually play their primary purpose, they have their own share of disadvantages as well. Number one being non-specific oxidation. Now, this refers to chemicals that are naturally oxidizable. So when they react with the acids and the oxidizers that I had earlier mentioned, they cause a spontaneous and oxidation that was unplanned. So in my next point, it's going to be the acid corrosion. And the third one would be precipitation. And the fourth one, danger to the oil field personnel. The studies have confirmed that enzyme-based environmental friendly chemicals can also be used and can serve the same purpose as the acid and the oxidizers I had talked about in the previous slide. So that means they can break polymers and they can as well mitigate hydrogen sulfide. So in addition, these enzyme-based chemicals have amazing advantages, and they include, they meet environmental regulations, and number two, they reduce any secondary effect. By secondary effect, I am referring to corrosion, precipitation. They're just the same disadvantages that we had earlier tackled. And then the third one, they reduce health hazards associated with chemical treatments. Now in the next slide, I'm going to be talking about complexities of current chemical treatments. Now, this slide has a lot of technical processes involved. I would like you guys to actually go and Google it for yourselves. So you might not understand it as I am reading it. So just brush through it quickly, then I'll leave you guys to actually research it on your own. So in hydraulic fracturing operations, the fluid consists of 99% of water thickened with GAR, or derivated polymers. The fluid is placed into the fracture, and then it will need to be propelled back without damaging the conductivity of the propant pack. This is accomplished by thinning the viscous fluid into a Newton fluid with low viscosity. Chemical breakers reduce the weight of the GAR, thus reducing the fluid viscosity. Now, oxidative breakers react rapidly at elevated temperatures, causing the polymer to break prematurely. This causes reduction in propant transport. I know you probably don't understand all that I have highlighted there, so that's why I would urge you to actually go and read it and get to understand more. So in the next slide, we're going to talk about encapsulated oxidation breakers. Now, encapsulated oxidation breakers have actually been in limited use. And the reason for this is, number one, they cause premature reduction in fluid viscosity. Number two, they have a significant safety hazard. Number three, they react with any oxidation metal. I had talked about the third point earlier. So these disadvantages are equally the same as the ones we had seen in the previous slides. So I'm going to introduce a new term. It's called reservoir soaring. And reservoir soaring occurs when seawater is injected into hydrocarbon reservoirs, causing fluid contamination. Now, this is not good at all in production. It is extremely costly as well. So what is the industry looking for? The industry is looking for products with no toxicity, as well as products that are renewable. So in my next slide, I'm going to be giving a review of the two graphs that I had seen in the JPT journal itself. So in the first graph, it's accumulated oil against days. I would like you guys to look at the bottom lines, the lines that are almost straight, the blue lines and the purple line and the red line at the bottom. Now this represents the oxidizer breakup. The oxidizer breaker are the ones that have a lot of disadvantages in the beginning. And the ones that are sprouting up almost vertical are the ones that they represent the enzyme breaker. So from this, we see that green is actually doing better than the other chemicals that were earlier being used. In the side graph, we see corrosion rate against time. Now, the blue line has 15 pp sulfide and 30 pp enzyme. I believe that's pink. The pink line has 15 pp sulfide and 0 pp enzyme. The green line has 15 pp sulfide and 60 pp enzyme. And the red line has 0 pp sulfide and 0 pp enzyme. So from the look of this, we can clearly tell that the green line has a lower rate of corrosion. And what does the green line represent? The green line represents 15 pp sulfide and 60 pp enzyme. So this clearly shows you that green is actually best. From the research that I have shown you guys, amino acids and plant extracts work as potential green corrosion inhibitors. So as a result of this, more companies are willing to adapt this and are willing to go green, because it not only enhances the oil production, but it's also safe for the environment. I think that's the end of my presentation. I was a little bit nervous in the beginning, but thank you guys for listening to this presentation. That's my name and that's my email. So I would urge you guys to actually go and look at JPT. It has really interesting reviews. You get to advance your knowledge as engineers, and I mean, it's just an amazing journal and amazing experience.